Welcome back to White Mountains Today. I've got Will here on the show from the Mount Washington Observatory. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And let me know, how do I pronounce your last name? Broussard?
Yep, you got it.
Okay, I got it. Will Broussard. So you've got a lot of fun stuff for us today, but before we get into all of that, you brought a prize for our viewers.
Yes, we have a backpack that we're raffling off.
Yeah.
And the question to get this backpack has something to do with this cat right here.
Ooh, so maybe you want to
Right?
get to know this cat. There's the cat noise that I was looking for Wildcat. Hans always pulls through in the clutch. So the question's going to have to do with the kitty you just saw to win. And where's the backpack that you're
Yep.
going to be giving away for that?
Yeah,
Just
this
show
is
them.
one of our backpacks we typically give out at Seek the Peak, our largest annual fundraiser.
And it actually has the Seek the Peak right on the front there, and the
Yep.
little hiker
Yep.
from Eastern Mountain Sports. Fantastic. And that retails for $69. That's a good deal. So we've got a lot of other stuff that you guys have going on. Let's get into it. Let's go through order of operations. So let's start with seasonal, what's happening right now. So
Yeah, absolutely. So this time of year is when we're thinking about gift giving and annual appeal and year-end campaigns. So we're definitely wrapping up our year of fundraising at the observatory. Of course, kind of starting with Seek the Peak, but ending with our year-end campaign. So we've got a number of things going on at our Weather Discovery Center in North Conway Village. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the Angels and Elves donation program.
Oh.
So if you come and visit us, basically between now and Christmas, you can, with a donation to the Angels and Elves program, get 20% off your entire purchase.
So if you make a donation to the Angels and Elves, then you get 20% off whatever you buy.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, and you got your cute little, I'm going to hold, I don't know if you guys can see that, but got our little Angel and Elves here, the little kids looking up at the tree. I love this time of year. Who doesn't love this time of year? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Only Scrooge.
Yeah. Also, in our gift shop, so we, a few years back, we were approached by the local author Ty Gagne, who had written a book called Where You'll Find Me, Risk Decisions in the Last Climb of Cape Matrasova. So actually, for this project, he interviewed a number of our staff regarding the weather conditions that were going on during that event. And so he's been very gracious, and he's given us the offer of 100% of sales of this book go directly back to the observatory.
Wow.
So we are selling this book in our gift shop at the Weather Discovery Center here downtown.
So if you want a way to give to the Mount Washington Observatory but still get something that you could potentially gift for a Christmas present or
Yeah,
keep
absolutely.
for yourself, I mean, books are great because if you gift them, they can always come circulating back to you.
Oh, certainly.
And you can get
yeah.
a read too, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, and exactly. There's a lot of great information about weather and climate, and of course, risk management in this book. It's a tragic tale, but it's very important, especially here in the White Mountains, for sure.
Yeah, so if people are thinking about going to hike, it's important to know, what you're up against around here, because it's I mean, we could get into the weather for probably a long conversation with you because you're very knowledgeable in that area. But from what I understand, there's 4 different weather patterns on top of Mount Washington.
Oh yeah, we could talk about how it's the convergence of 3 major storm tracks here in the White Mountains, but it also has to do with the fact that we, at least especially in the winter time, we have this kind of compression effect that happens where the mountain sitting at 6,000 feet essentially creates kind of a compression where the air that's coming in from the west gets squeezed between the summit of Mount Washington and the tropopause, an
Okay.
area about 25 to 30,000 feet above our heads. So we always say it's like putting your thumb over the garden hose effect, which forces that constriction, which creates an acceleration in the air over the summit. So it's a number of different factors that come together that make Mount Washington so uniquely dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I remember the first time I hiked up there and they had the list. I was like, oh, Lord,
Yeah.
of people that, that had a similar tale, that it didn't go so well. It was more tragic.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the observatory, what my position is a traveling educator. So I do a lot of speaking engagements about what makes Mount Washington so dangerous. And a lot of the people that I talk to are, for the most part, they're very well aware of the dangers, but they also are well aware of how people come up and visit us, and they don't really know what to expect. That you can leave a city 5-6 hours away in the morning, and it can be 80 degrees in the middle of summer, and get to Mount Washington Summit on the same day, and it's 25 degrees and a whiteout blizzard.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary if you don't do your homework. You can get into a lot of trouble up there.
Yeah, you have to be well prepared.
Absolutely.
And then you guys have another fun Christmas thing coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Adam mentioned, we're doing our year-end appeal, and right now, if you give a gift membership or join or upgrade your own membership, because of course Mount Washington is a member-supported private nonprofit, we are doing this cute little thing here. We've got an ornament, which is our snow tractor.
Oh, that's
our snow cat,
awesome.
and look at that. It's our cat.
Oh my
Marty.
God, I love it.
He's
You guys
in
are cat people.
He's in
I'm
the
a
window.
cat. I'm a crazy cat lady too. I love it. Marty's in the window.
Yep.
And so you get one of those for your tree to hang on your Christmas tree, and that's for your annual appeal, so that if you make a donation that supports the Mount Washington Observatory before the end of the year, you get your great little Christmas ornament, and it's also tax deductible, and taxes are right around the corner. I don't know some people, but I like to get mine done early, so yeah, we're gonna get a zoom in on, and Marty is in the window, the black cat. You got to see, it's so cute.
Yeah, so we've had a history of keeping cats on the summit going back to our founding in 1932.
Oh.
Originally, the cats really were very practical. They would take care of the mice that would get into our supplies. Nowadays, that's not so much a problem, but it's really nice to have a pet cat.
Well, yeah.
To be our mascot. We say he's the only full-time staff member of the observatory.
Oh my God.
And he has free reign of the summit building. He often stays inside on these colder winter days, but in the summer he'll go out hiking. People have seen him down at Lakes of the Clouds, and it's really kind of funny.
What a great life for a cat.
Yeah.
I think when I get reincarnated, I want to be a cat that gets to live on the Mount Washington Summit. I was just talking to someone about that the other day. I was like, if you come back as a pet with a good owner, that's like the life. You can be a kid forever. Everything's covered. All right, so then, and then we just one more reminder, because you mentioned cats. So we wanted to mention to pay attention to this cat a little bit later in the show. This doesn't look like Marty, though, the black cat. This is a black and white cat.
Yeah, that's a different cat.
It's a different cat. Okay. All right, just food for thought for later. All right, and then we have next year your biggest, because your annual appeal is your second biggest, your largest.
Yeah, our largest fundraiser of the year is Seek the Peak. We call it the nation's premier hiking event. So this is pretty unique. So we have a big vendor fair and a large kickoff party the Friday night before that at our Weather Discovery Center. And then the next day is really devoted to your hiking day. So you raise a $200 minimum, and then you get a number of fun prizes, including a nice backpack. And you can hike Mount Washington, but you don't need to hike Mount Washington itself. We kind of say it's Seek Your Peak.
Yeah.
So for instance, I will lead a more kind of gentle nature hike around Pinkham Notch area.
Oh,
and
nice.
We have other groups of people going out and doing smaller hikes as well. So you don't have to go up Mount Washington. You can if you want to. You can even choose to go up Mount Washington another day of that week or the week after. But what's really special is to come back for the vendor fair and the big dinner that we have that's always catered by Hart's Turkey Farm, which is
like
really
a Thanksgiving meal, basically.
Yeah, and this is the 20th year of Seek the Peak, so it's a big deal,
wow, yeah.
and we're really excited to bring it back. And we'll see who we've got coming up this year. We usually have some relatively local MCs. It's some big gift giveaways. It's a really exciting event.
And I'm sure for the 20th annual, it'll probably be even more special.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and so speaking of snowcats and our cats, so I wanted to also mention that part of how we bring money into the organization is through our snowcat visits to the summit of Mount Washington. So in the wintertime, January, February, and March, we do have the opportunity to visit the summit of Mount Washington for day trip programs and overnight trip programs. The day trip programs have a kind of generalized theme about the life and work of the weather observers on Mount Washington. And you join us in the morning at the base of the mountain. we'll take our snow tractor up the Mount Washington Auto Road. We visit the summit. We walk around, learn a bit about the history of the summit buildings on the top. And then we go inside for a number of activities, including a hot lunch and a tour of the observatory.
Ooh.
So that's the day trip program. The overnight trip programs each have an educational theme. So we bring in typically either a person on staff or an outside educator to teach on different subjects. So we have, in the past, we've done glacial geology, weather basics, mountaineering basics, that sort of thing. So those are, that's a morning all the way through the day, evening, and then we'll come off the mountain the following midday or so. So we've got the day trips and we've got the overnight trips.
And those are pretty popular. I hear that those sell out pretty quickly.
They do. Yes, the overnights are probably, I think, 2 or 3 spots away from being taken up and sold out. But the day trips are still selling, absolutely. We've got availability in each of those 3 winter months currently.
Good.
And for a full schedule, that's all on mountwashington.org, our website.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool website to have, mountwashington.org.
Oh, yeah.
They got that covered.
Yeah, we have access not only to the events that we have, but a lot of people use our website to see, of course, what the current summit conditions are. But also they use our Mesonet, which is a series of weather stations both along the Auto Road and throughout the White Mountains, so you can get a sense of what the temperature is at many of our popular ski resorts, and also throughout the Mount Washington Valley itself.
I worked with a mountaineering company when I first came into this area, and we definitely were using your website for the conditions on the Mount Washington. So yeah, I remember quite well. I've done some winter mountaineering in my day, although I always managed to go on the 30-degree sunny bluebird sky days, and they were like, "This isn't winter mountaineering. What do you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just bring the good weather with me. I don't know."
That's great.
I did go through Lion's Head once in a windy day, though, and it can get brutal up there, the winds.
Absolutely. I've done it, in all seasons, but I haven't actually done a winter ascent. I've done a summer ascent of Mount Washington, but yeah, there's something that happens when you get up to the top of, for instance, Tuckerman, and you feel that wind, and you're like, it's cloudy, and you can't see much, and you're like, well, maybe you should turn back, and that's just fine.
Yeah.
And that's what gets people in trouble
Exactly,
sometimes.
the summit fever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done it in the summer, too, and it's a totally different ballgame. But you're right, you get up top, and it's so much cooler. You got to put layers on sometimes in the middle of summer, and you're just not expecting, because you're down there hiking, and you're sweating, and you get up top, and you're like, woo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Popular story.
But so we wanted to give away the backpack. So let's come full circle.
Okay.
And we've got this great backpack from Eastern Mountain Sports. Now, you would normally get something like this if you did the Seek the Peak event. It's got the Seek the Peak right on it. And so the question to answer, we're going to be taking callers in a moment here, is this cat that we kept mentioning. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, ooh. You hold that one up. There we go. So you had the cat in the little Christmas ornament. That was Marty. That was your previous cat, right?
Well, yeah. So Marty the cat is our current cat.
Oh, that's your current cat.
The cat that's in the snow tractor, that's Marty Cat, and he's our current summit mascot.
Okay.
He's been with us since about 2008. He's named for Marty Angstrom, actually, the WMTW engineer turned weather announcer. Who actually visited us this past summer for Science in the Mountains lecture series.
Oh, cool! So I got it mixed up. So Marty's your current cat.
Marty's our current cat, and this is a former cat.
Oh.
So this is actually a cat that lived with us for many years prior to Marty, and so this cat, pretty different personality and temperament from Marty. Where Marty was.
Oh wait.
Oh, yep.
Down.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Where Marty is a bit more shy and likes to stay away from some of the visitors that visit us. This cat was very much the classic lap cat who would get in your way trying to do weather observations and was a real ham when it came to hanging out with people. So I never got to meet this cat, but perhaps some of our listeners and viewers might know who this cat is. So that's the question: is who is this cat?
Who is this cat? What's the name of this former Mount Washington Observatory cat? It's like your mascot, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
The only full-time staff person or cat.
So we're taking callers, and we're looking for the name of the cat that was the former mascot for the Mount Washington Observatory. So right now, Marty, the black cat, is the mascot, but this is a former cat. And the clue that I will give you is it's 3 letters.
No phone call.
What's the word for when a name can be reversed back and forth?
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. How do you say that?
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. That's your clue number 2. So 3 letters. I can't even say that word. We're not going to even try. And we've got a caller. White Mountains today.
Hi, good
Watch and
morning.
win. Good
What's the
morning.
cat? What's the cat named Nin?
Nin.
Yeah, you got
That
it.
is it. Congratulations. Woo! We got a winner off the bat. Congrats. And I think you're the only caller I saw coming through, so you had that. How did you know?
The internet.
The wonderful magic of the internet. Well, that's why we have it, right? So that's why we wanted to give you guys a little bit of time. So Nin, yes. And so I asked him if that standed for 9-inch nails or nincompoop. And he was like, probably the latter of the 2. Can you just stay on the line for me for a moment? What's your name, by the way?
My name's Pat.
Pat. All right, Pat knew Nin, so Pat wins the $69 cool Eastern Mountain Slope Seek the Peak backpack. So congratulations. Just stay on the line for me for a moment, and I'll give you the information on how to grab that in just a second.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So thanks so much for being on the show
Awesome.
and bringing us a fun prize to give away.
Absolutely. Thanks for
and
having me.
all of these awesome events and telling us about everything you got going on. And I love that you guys have cats up there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I should say that many of these items that I talked about have to do with the Weather Discovery Center, which is open daily 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes, and that's an awesome place to visit. And that's right in the heart of North Conway Village.
Yeah, right in the
Literally.
heart at the north end of the village opposite the Eastern Slope Inn.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much, Will, for being on the show. It's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you. And make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back on White Mountains Today.